Hi guys, so it's been a while since my last video because I'm quite busy preparing some event for Halloween and finishing some of my playing card design. So today I'm quite free, so I decided to film a Q&A videos for you guys. A few days ago I posted a picture on my Instagram at @edohuang asking you to pose some question for me, and today I'm going to answer some of the question of yours. So here in my hand I have all the questions that you guys put on my Instagram, so I'm going to try answering some of the best questions. So number one is at which point you decide to pursue magic as a main career? I mean, what is the turning point that you knew this is it? Right. To be honest, I never have the feeling of right, I'm going to be a magician when I'm growing up. But as a kid, we have a lot of hobbies, right? Magic is one of them. And then I also do a lot of hobbies like yo-yo, playing like cars, also playing a music instrument. My parents asked me to practice drums when I'm in the mid school, so I took a drum lessons for a few years. I still playing drum right now, but just for fun, not professionally. Magic's one of them. What else? Trading card game. If you know that kind of, you fight with cards like Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh. I also did that. But magic is, I don't know, always come back to me when I finish with all my other hobbies, but magic still return to me over and over again. I did stop doing magic for a few years, but then magic returned to me when I in high school and then in university, and I start performing magic with for friends, for family, during family gatherings, during hang out with your friends. And when I perform magic, it feels like I feel alive when I show some tricks to the audience, and the audience feel the amazement and the reaction from the audience. It like an energy for me. So I like performing magic a lot. I like seeing the reaction from the audience. So I keep doing magic over and over again, and finally in 2010 I start my career as playing card design, and playing card design took me into performing magic quite often, because by performing magic I can also at the same time promoting my playing cards, right? So when clients ask me to do a private event magic show, I use my cards to promote my magic, and I guess it grows naturally from there. I never telling myself like by this age I want to be a professional magician. No, I just want all this magic journey and playing card design journey grow naturally. So just trust your instinct and just trust yourself and keep doing it, and just never surrender and never give up. Right, next question. There's one Indonesian guy asked about nervous, how to take care about the nervous when you perform to audience. There are two questions that's similar. First one asking about if you have shaky hands, how you handle with it, and the other one is how to build a confidence when you perform magic to the audience. The answer is just perform. If you perform more, you will gain the confidence. If you perform less, you don't know how to handle pressure. Me personally, I am an introvert person. I easily get nervous when it comes to performing. Back in high school, I sweat a lot. My hands shake when I perform, and also I sometimes I don't know what to say. I prepare all the presentation, and then when it comes to the show, I just forgot everything that I remember. That's my problem. So I need to face my fear. So during high school, university, I perform quite a lot, but I'm not performing it to strangers. Instead, I perform to friends, because this is what I believe. You need to have like a stage. If you are nervous, it's because you probably don't know the person who you perform to. But if you know who the person is, you probably have less nervous. I start with my close friends. I perform magic to my best friend, to my close friend, to my inner circle, people that I knew the most. And then when I can handle the pressure when performing to my close friends, I start performing it to my friends' friends. When you hang out with your friends, and sometimes they ask their friends to join, I start performing to them. It's more like a almost stranger, but not completely stranger. It's a stranger for you, but to your friend, it's his friend, and there's someone who can connect you with. So sometimes my friends introduce me to his friends, like, hey, I'm going to introduce you to my friend Edo. He's a magician. Oh yeah, he's a magician. Show me some trick. Then you can start all right, let me show you some trick, like simple tricks. And then if you already accomplished that stage, you can start perform to stranger, like complete stranger. You can start with at the coffee shop. When you sit down at the coffee shop or at the restaurant, you can start looking at random people, like the barista or the staff or the waiters or a person sit next to you who looks like some sort of like welcoming. You can approach them and you can ask permission if you want to show some magic, if they're really interested to see the magic. I did that. Well, sometimes it's not really work, but it works quite good because I already accomplished those previous steps before, like performing it to your family, your friends, and the friends, your closest relative, and then you can after accomplish all the level, now you can perform to stranger. Yes, you're still probably going to shake a lot, sweating, but you know how to handle this thing this time, because you get used to it on the previous performance. So I really hope this useful for you. Just the key is just face your fear. Your problem. This thing will afraid you the most. Face it, because if you can face your fear and get over it, you accomplish something in your life. Especially if you want to be a good magician, this thing is really important for you. Next question is about, is cardistry worth learning? Let me tell you something. When I start practicing cardistry, I think 5-6 years ago, I don't feel like I like to go deep into cardistry world, because I am a magician, I am a playing card designer, but I am no cardist. I cannot do complicated move, and I just as a magician, I only stick with the old school move, like Charlie card, Sable, Revolution, the old school move, not this kind of hype move that teenagers sometimes perform. Until I met Vincent from Hong Kong. In 2016, I traveled to Hong Kong and met the magic and cardistry community in Hong Kong. And he told me this, Edo, you should at least learn and practice some cardistry when you practice your magic, because cardistry will enhance your magic handling, your card handling, your card move, your card skill. It will improve your handling. For me, hearing that from a cardistry guy, it's like, are you sure? Because like I don't feel the benefit practicing cardistry. Back then, for me, cardistry is like the art of showing off how you shuffle cards. I don't see it as a benefit, but it proved me wrong. So after I heard my friend from Hong Kong told that statement, I still practicing cardistry, and guess what? He's right. My card magic skill, my card slide is improving. Now I can perform pinky count much easier. I can perform, classic pass. I can perform, a lot of move that I used to have a hard time doing it. Now I can performing it in less problem, and it works. It really works. So right now, I encourage some of magicians to practice flourish, cardistry, but not in sort of like complicated move. You don't have to learn complicated move. For me, it's better for you to maybe stick to 5 or 6 or 7 move that you can perform quite good, quite smooth, rather than you have like a, I don't know 20, 30 move that is very complicated and it's so hard for you to practice. It's not worth it. I like to stick with at least 5 or 6 move, and then I'm going to perform this cardistry move better than any other people. And then I never, showing off the cardistry move. I rarely perform cardistry move on public because I don't know. I don't feel like showing some card shuffle into to people. I rather like to perform magic to them instead of cardistry. So I just practice this at home when I design cards, when I have free time, when I watch movie, I shuffle cards. And yes, cardistry do improve your card skill. So practice some cards. Next question: do you have a mentor? I rather call it friends, because I don't, really officially have a mentor, because I never have a friend or someone doing magic at the same time when I growing up in mid school and high school. Because back when I started all the magic journey, I was alone until like 6-7 years ago. I finally create like a small community in my area. I finally have this kind of people who can growing up together as a magician. But luckily, when I start my social media journey, when I start actively post magic videos on my Instagram, I start making new friends on Instagram, and some of them end up become a good friend, some end up as a business partner. And back then we just talk on Instagram or WhatsApp until I decided to travel to their country, some in Singapore, some in Korea, some in Japan, some in Thailand, and we finally met in person. When we met, we talked a lot from magic, life, a lot of things, and some of them are quite very very nice person, and we end up become close friends. And also some of them share their magic influence, their magic knowledge, some tips and tricks on how to do sleight of hands. And for me, it become an insight for me and how I can improve my magic from the knowledge that they gave it to me. So yeah, I don't really have an official mentor, but I call my magician friends as a mentor for me, because without them I cannot be what I am today. Alright, so last question. What kind of playing card design that sells well in public? To be honest, it goes back into the individual taste. If I say that design is interesting for you, probably it's not that attractive. And if I say this design is rubbish, you might say like, oh, this design is interesting. So each people have a different kind of style and taste and preference. When I started designing cards in 2010, I kind of like design that have classic back design, like bicycles, something that classic look. It works best for me. But if you ask me right now, I like that kind of weird, quirky, artsy design. Why? Because design evolve. At the same time, I need to evolve. If you look playing card design back in 2012 or 2013, it's completely different with what happened today. Back in that day, playing card are playing safe, have this kind of two-way back design, classic looks, casino looks, clean back design with two logos on top and on the bottom. And if you see right now, we see a lot of one-way back design that in 3 or 4 years ago, one-way back design is completely useless. No one really want to buy one-way back design because it's not good for magic, and it's just useless because who the hell want to buy one-way back design for magic? But right now, there are almost all companies releasing one-way back design, and right now it looks normal because everyone are releasing one-way back design. In the first place, you will see and sometimes you will complain like, I don't like one-way back design. But since everyone releasing one-way back design, slowly your head, your mind start to recreate this sort of like, it looks nice. One-way back design is quite good. It's interesting, and you start buying one-way back design. So if you ask me which deck sells more, it's quite difficult because it goes back into a personal taste. So I really hope it answering all the question. Alright, so that's it. That's the Q&A videos for today. I really hope I answering all your question. So if you have any more question, either you can put your question below on the comment section, or you can share it on my Instagram. Alright, so before we end this video, I want to share with you a few updates about my playing card design. So expecting new design from Svengali next week, because we're going to celebrate Halloween by the end of this October, and also few more playing card design from other company, because besides Svengali, I'm also designing few decks for other brands and individuals. So thank you so much for watching this video, and until next time.